Welcome to this video. In this video, I'll be introducing live notification. With live notification, your website comes alive by showcasing real-time customers' activity like bookings, payments, and interactions as they happen. These engaging pop-ups build instant trust, create urgency, and influence visitors to take action without disrupting your experience. Instead of telling people, hey, my website or my business is active, live notification proves it, turning everyday activity into a powerful automated conversation engine working for you 24/7. So after you've installed the app already, you're just going to come over here to your sidebar and you're going to see a new custom menu that will be added. The custom menu is going to have live notification as name. So once you click on that, you're going to be presented with this beautiful dashboard. Inside of this dashboard, we're going to have a ton of cards with a ton of available data that's going to be useful for you managing the app, right? So here we have a couple of cards that are going to really help you to monitor and see how, those live notifications actually behave within your system. So right here, you're going to see active visitors. Right down here, you're going to see unique visitors, the number of notification impressions, click-through rates, total clicks, and a whole lot of information right within this page. Right above here, you'll be able to select the date range if you want to see how the live notification has been working and any data that it has within different date rates. You can actually select, and that's going to actualize right over inside here. And you can also choose like today, yesterday, last 7 days, and you can also decide to refresh this page for accurate or current information. The next tab below here is going to be the notifications tab. And here is where lies a lot of information that you're also going to need for the live notification app, right? So here you're going to have a total of cards as well containing total notifications you have that I created. So right now I do have 2 of them. You can see the 2 of them down here. And right above here, I have one that is active. And you can see I have this new sign up which is active right here. And then I have total impressions for today. And then I have average click rate as well. So this is actually what this page has. And just above here, we have the create notification button. We're going to come back to this in a couple of moments from now, right? Let's quickly head over to the next tab, which is going to be the integration tab. And this is one of the key tabs within this app. So this is actually where the script lies. This is where the engine actually lies, right? So what we have to do right here is going to be to copy the script and then put it at the level of our website's HTML head section. This is actually what is going to be connecting your platform or your account with your website, right? So this is actually how it looks like. So the first thing you're going to do when you come over this tab is you're just going to have to copy this and then head over to your website and paste it in. Okay. So let's quickly test and see how that works. But before going there, let me just show you the last tab, which is a support and feedback tab. So right over here, you're going to have knowledge base. We're going to be adding articles as much as we can. And under this, we're going to have feedback. So here, if you do have any feedback, you just come over here and then you click on new request. And you're going to put the title of your feedback. You're going to select a category, right? So if you need support, you need help with anything, you can leave that here. If you need feedback or have suggestions, you can leave that here. If you have, let's say, a feature request as well, then you can easily select that category and then put in anything you want and then just submit. And we're going to get back to you, right? So now let's move back up to the integration tab here. So in this integration tab, what we are going to do right now is to copy this script and then head over to any website we want to have these live notifications happen actually pasted inside there, right? So I'm just going to copy this and it shows here copied. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to head over onto this other tab that I have here. So right here, I just have a website that I just built, just demo purposes and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come right over here, tracking code here, and I'm going to look for this header tracking, right? I'm just going to paste in that code right inside here. I'm just going to click on save. Once that is done, let me just make sure that this page is actually saved. So once that is saved, right now, we're just going to preview this current page we have here. I'm just going to close this O version here. And then from here, I'm just going to preview that, right? So right here is just a demo page that was created, and we can see if we head back over to this area here, tracking code, then we're going to see the code or the script that is being pasted here. So now how do we test and know this thing actually works? So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to share my screen. I'm just going to put this somewhere here. I'm just going to come here, and then What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to scroll right down. So this is where I copy the script. I'm just going to scroll down and you're going to see installation stages. Installation verified your script is working correctly because it detected actually that we have already installed that script on our website. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on this send test notification and you're going to observe keenly that the notification pop-up is going to pop out somewhere over here on our website. So let me just click on send test notification. Let's observe this place. So here you can see the notification that just popped up right over here on our website. Let me just do it a second time so you can see again. Let's observe. And here's a test notification that was created right here. Okay, that's great. So we have successfully installed this script onto our website. So the next thing we are going to be doing right now is to be creating our first notification, right? So let's click on create first notification and it's going to redirect us to this page where we can create it, right? So let's just head over to notifications here and let's click on create notification. I actually do have a couple of them that have been created, but let me just walk you through how that actually works. So we're just going to click on create notification. And from here, we're going to be having a ton of trigger types that we would want to have those events triggered on our website, right? So right here, we have contact events, we have invoice events, we have appointment events, we have message events, and we have custom webhooks for you to be able to do any other thing you want to do right inside of this app, okay? So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to test out something. We're just going to explore all of these trigger types that are here. So the first one is going to be contact events. And these contact events we have here, we're going to have a couple of them. So the first one is going to be contact created. So here, if you have, let's say you create a contact, or let's say you update a contact, or let's say contact is deleted, a contact TND is updated, a contact tag is updated, you will be able to have that pop out in the platform itself. And the next event we're going to have here is going to be the invoice events, right? So these are just a couple of event types that we're going to be having triggered over on our website. So let's say somebody, maybe an invoice is generated, or maybe when invoice details are modified or stuff like that, invoice is paid or stuff like that, you can have all of those displayed on your website. And the next one is going to be appointment events, right? So let's say someone books one appointment, someone updates an appointment, one appointment is deleted. You can have those different events actually pop out on your website. How cool is that? The next one is going to be message events. So in these message events, we also have a couple of ones that are right here. So we have inbound message or an outbound message. So you can trigger that and that's going to be displayed on your website when you have, let's say, an inbound message or you have an outbound message and the custom webhook. Here you have the possibility on the side to create any other custom event you would like to display on your website. So let's just maybe start with something like this. Let's say contact created, right? So I'm just going to choose this for testing purposes. And then I'm just going to click on next. And when you click on next, you're going to be presented with a couple of templates that you would like to use, if you would like to use them or not. So you're going to have templates, let's say new sign up or stuff like that, show when someone signs up or is added as a contact. So you're going to have something like this within your website. Hey, this person just signed up from this city or this kind of stuff or something like that. And we also have to make sure and understand that these actually work as well with dynamic fields, right? So these dynamic fields, we're going to have name, first name, city, state, contact, and stuff like that. Best for generation, membership, sites, and SaaS signups, right? So you want to have that information pop up on your website in real time. So I'm just going to choose this. There are a lot of templates you could actually browse through and just get your hands dirty with stuff and stuff like that. Yeah. The next one here we're going to be having is the map events field. So this is actually what we receive as webhook when an event is being triggered, right? So over here, we will need to map out the kind of information we want out. So for the name, we're going to map out, let's say with first name, right? And first name as well here. I'm just going to still say first name here. Let me just choose name over here, first name this way. For city, I'm just going to map it out as well with city. Let's say state, I'm just going to map it out as well with state here, and then company name, you can name it, right? So you can just map out those custom fields with anything that's maybe directly connected to your platform. Okay, so after this, we're going to just move up to the next option. So this next page gives us further capabilities to really be able to manage what's happening right here. Okay. So the first thing we're going to have here is going to be how it's been displayed, right? So you're going to see a live preview on this area right here. So the first thing we're going to have here is a position, right? So do you want it to be positioned on the bottom left, bottom top left, top right, center? Everything depends on you. And you notice as I'm changing this, it's actually changing right over here. And then you can have it display duration in seconds. How long do you want the pop-up to be displayed for? You can have that here within seconds. And the animation as well. Do you want it to be slide, fade in, or bounce or anything? So you can actually test the animation as you're doing walking through. The next one we're going to have here is the icon style. So the icon style here, you can choose depending on what kind of icon style you want. And it's actually going to be changing as we are moving on right here. Great. And the next one is going to be the timing and frequency. Initial delay seconds. So let's say somebody newly signs up on maybe your account, or somebody maybe just bought something and you want to trigger maybe an invoice that is paid or something like that. Then let's say you want that to be delayed. You don't want that to be instant, right? So you can have that configured here, right? So you want that when somebody, let's say, buys or purchases something, there's a delay of 5 seconds before that is actually reflected on your website or pops out on your website. So you can just put that here, right? So for this, I'm just going to put 5 seconds delay. And time display frequency, that's going to be the next one. So do you want it to be every time that happens, or do you want it to be once per session? Do you want it to be once per day, once per week? Or you can also have your custom interval just placed there. So for this one, I'm just going to select every time, and then maximum displays. How many times do you want this to be displayed? You can leave it at 0 to have that being displayed on limited number of times. The next one for the gimmick guys, you can play a sound when that action or when that pop-up actually occurs within your website, right? So you have a couple of sounds here that you can choose depending on what you want and stuff like that. But for me, I'm just going to leave that off right now. And then you have a notification message. This is going to be optional, right? So if you want to change this default message right here, you can actually place in your own message here, but make sure you actually do use these dynamic placeholders like customer name, location, just exactly the way they are here. If not, that's not going to pull out the information from your system directly. So click URL here is actually optional. We also have image URL right here. So what happens with this click URL is when this notification pops up, clients on your website visiting your website live might want to be able to click on this and then maybe redirect them maybe to a YouTube page, maybe a sign up button as well, or something like that. So you can maybe put in a sign up form here. So once this notification pops up on your website and they see it, they just have to click on that pop-up and they're going to be redirected to that particular link you placed up here. This image URL right here is simply this for this icon styles and everything. So let's say you want to change this, you can easily just put in the URL of your image right here. Take note, both of these two are optional depending on your use case or scenario, right? And here you can just have a brief confirmation or configuration summary for how you configure all of this. We're going to move on to the next page. So on this next page now, you're going to be able to take things a little bit further, right? By having targeting rows, right? So let's say you've installed this on all of your pages, right? And you don't want this pop-up to be displayed everywhere. So what do you do? So right here, you can decide to specify things, right? If you want it to be displayed on all your pages, it's fine. You just leave this on. If you want it to be displayed on specific pages, which is okay, you can just add those parts for the pages where you want them to be displayed or not. So let's say you have maybe checkout page, you want it to be displayed on your checkout page, or you want it to be displayed on your home page or stuff like that. You just have to add those specific parts inside here. The next option we're going to have here is all except specific pages. Okay, so if you select this and then you put a part here, let's say maybe like checkout. So what happens is that on this checkout page, this is not, or that pop-up is not actually going to pop out on this checkout page right here. So you're just exempting the areas where the checkout page is actually going to, or the pop-up is actually going to be displayed. And device targeting, another very interesting part. Some people might want that displayed only on the desktop or only the mobile version or on tablets. You can have these options toggled on or toggled off depending on how you actually want that to act for you, right? Visitor targeting, you can target visitors as well. You can have all visitors, you can have new visitors only, you can have that set to returning visitors only as well. And we have the last option right down here, which is going to be the display period. So this is literally the amount of time you want this to actually be active on your website, right? So let's say you want this to be active maybe only during maybe promotional periods or only during specific periods in time that your business maybe is heavily active or is promoting something, right? So you can set the start time and start and end date for that pop-up to be live on your website. And let's move on to the next page. This next page, you're just going to review everything, and the next thing you're going to do is give it this a name. So you can say maybe contact, you can say maybe contact sign up, and you can give a quick description to this, right? So I'm just going to say new contact up for me, right? So you can just give it a brief description you want, stuff like this. Great. Just going to give the name here. Yeah, so this is just a name internally for you to be able to recognize that within the app itself, right? So you can decide now to either activate it or leave that, off, right? So this is actually how it looks like. And then after doing all of that, then now you can just click on create notification. Once that is created, you're going to be redirected to this notifications page where you're going to see all the active notifications that you have on, right? So I just did a new one right now, and here it is. So this one is going to be new sign up right here. And in this new sign up, I'm just going to have notifications about people who sign up, right? So you can use it in various ways. So we're just going to have a quick test about this right now, and just to see how that actually works, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be creating a new contact right within the system, and then you're going to see how that actually triggers this up. So now heading over to creating a new contact here, I'm just going to bring this, I'm just going to separate my screen into two so you can see that. And I'm just going to have, so now I'm just going to separate my screen into two so you can see how that's actually going to work, right? So right over here, I'm inside the website right here. Let me just refresh this. And I'm going to be creating a new contact, right? So if I come here and then I'm just going to type, it's just going to be for demo purposes and stuff. So this is it. Okay. So if I click on save here, just watch what's going to happen on this side. So you're going to see new sign up. This is it. It's almost instant, right? So this is how the live notification app works concretely. So this means you could use it for a lot more things. Let's say maybe have a sign up page, something like this, when somebody fills in the form, or maybe having a booking page when somebody books in maybe for an appointment, you have something live popping out right here, showing real engagement about your account and about your business to your live website visitors. So thank you for watching the video. If you do have any other questions, you can just use the feature to create a support ticket or to maybe submit suggestions, and we're going to be very much happy to have all of your important queries answered.